Welcome in to our second installment of Duval Daily for Tuesday, July 19th. We are so close here to escaping the dead period, but we're still in it through the rest of this week, which means we are still in the season of lists until next Monday when the Jaguars and most of the rest of the NFL will be kicking off on-field work training camp. We'll start actually getting news. We'll start actually getting analysis and insights from what the teams have going on the field. Very excited for it. However, again, we are still in the season of lists through the rest of the week. And we've got another one from ESPN in conjunction with Pro Football Focus from Mike Renner. They just dropped a top 15 year two breakout players list, and the two Jaguars that are on it are probably not a big surprise to you. You can probably figure it out. They actually bookended this list here. So we'll get into that right now. I'm Jordan DeLugo. You can follow me on Twitter at Jordan DeLugo, Generation Jaguar, at Generation Jag. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a show on here. Really appreciate y'all's support. So, coming in at number one on the year two breakout list is none other than first overall pick in 2021, Trevor Lawrence, quarterback for your Jacksonville Jaguars by way of Clemson. So Mike Renner, which I'm not sure about this PFF ESPN partnership or what they've got going on, but you've got Mike Renner from Pro Football Focus providing this list on ESPN.com. Welcome you guys to check it out. Again, there's 15 total players on here, so it's a lot of good information. A lot of interesting guys going into year two here. Renner says that last year PFF highlighted top breakout candidate Joe Burrow, who went on to lead the Bengals to the Super Bowl. And he says this year one of the players below could push their respective franchise even further. So yeah, he's got Trevor Lawrence at the top of this list. Shouldn't come as a huge surprise. He talks about how obviously things were not great around Trevor Lawrence last year, but he points to year two breakouts from Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. He says Lawrence showed in his rookie season why he was considered to be in such rarefied air as a prospect. It just took until week 18 for him to do so. In a meaningless game for the Jaguars, but one that meant everything for the Indianapolis Colts playoff aspirations, Lawrence didn't flinch. He goes on to say, with an improved receiving core and a much improved coaching staff this fall, the Jaguars won't have to wait until week 18 to see that kind of play from Trevor Lawrence in year two. I totally agree with him there. It's not just a much improved coaching staff. I mean, you go from Urban Meyer, who was arguably the worst coach in NFL history, maybe not even arguably, to Doug Peterson, who is a former quarterback. He's surrounded Trevor Lawrence with former quarterbacks who will understand what he's going through. Mike McCoy, Press Taylor, Jim Bob Cooter. He's surrounded Trevor Lawrence with more talent, with Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, Zay Jones. The guy who comes in at number 15 on this list is back for the Jaguars this year. Trevor Lawrence's college teammate. We'll leave it at that for now. Don't want to bury the lead here. But looking at what Trevor Lawrence has surrounding him in year two versus what he had in year one, and when you look at the statistical data behind year two quarterback jumps, it is all pointing to Trevor Lawrence. I get why Mike Renner has him at number one on this list, and I would tend to agree. I know it is really difficult for Jaguars fans to put the past behind them, to not worry about the last decade plus of miserable football outside of the 2017 season. But the bottom line is Trevor Lawrence is an incredible talent. He has a superior right arm. He has great legs. He is great with his pocket awareness and pocket movement. He's smart. He developed before your very eyes through the 2021 season, despite all the horrific play and coaching around him. So yeah, Trevor Lawrence deserves to be number one on this list. I'm on board with Mike Renner here. I know Jaguars fans, you feel pessimistic, you feel down. I get it. You have every right to feel that way, but the reality of the situation is that Trevor Lawrence is one of the more talented young quarterbacks in the NFL right now. He is surrounded by a lot more talent than he was in 2021, and he has a coach who has gotten the most out of every quarterback he's worked with in the NFL. So, yes, good news for Trevor Lawrence in year 2 of his pro football career. So, jumping down on the list, I mentioned they bookended it here. Travis Etienne comes in at number 15. He was a 25th overall pick in 2021, running back out of Clemson. And Mike Renner writes, Etienne's inclusion doesn't need much of an explanation. He didn't play a single snap in 2021 after suffering a Liz Frank injury in the preseason. Now he goes to an offense in desperate need of ways to create big plays. The Jaguars had all of 90 plays for 15-plus yards last season, more than only the Texans. Etienne, on the other hand, was the single best big play threat at the running back position in college football over the course of his career at Clemson. The only player with more runs of 15-plus yards over that span than Etienne's 89 was Jonathan Taylor, and it took Taylor 241 more carries to do so. The Jaguars need more explosiveness in 2022, and Etienne will be there to provide it. Absolutely. I would argue Etienne should probably be higher on this list. I get why you don't want to have two Jaguars too high on the list, but realistically, this is a guy entering a year where he looks fully healthy. If you haven't watched the videos, if you haven't heard the reports, Travis Etienne is fully healthy. He's not on any sort of injury list. Those don't exist right now. But if they did, there was good indication from Doug Peterson, who let all of the veterans who were not rehabbing from injuries skip mandatory minicamp. Guess who wasn't there? That's right, Travis Etienne. So now you've got Travis Etienne fully healthy, entering year 2 in a offensive system that will run a lot of outside wide zone, a lot of inside zone, get Travis Etienne moving laterally, and then let him find the cutback, let him find the hole. And now you've got Brandon Scherf in there at right guard, who is one of the elite run-blocking right guards in football. You have a chance to get Walker Little on the field at right tackle, who is a good run blocker. I just think the offensive line is in a better shape for blocking the run. I think Phil Rauscher and Doug Peterson coming together for this rushing attack, I think you're going to see that wide zone a lot. Etienne has the home run ability, and I think you have the offensive line to get out and get in front of these plays and block it up properly, more so than you have had in years past here. And the fact that he's working with Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson's gotten the most out of a lot of running backs. You looked at the way he used Miles Sanders early in Miles Sanders' career. He's done it with a lot of different guys. I think you'll get space for Travis Etienne to work. And if you give this guy space, he's going to eat all day. He's also going to be a valuable move chess piece where you can line him up in the slot, out wide, obviously in the backfield. You can get the ball in his hands quickly. And then you also look at these two, Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne at Clemson. They ran an offense that was a lot of gadgety, a lot of quick game, RPO, zone read option, all that fun stuff, screens. Now, they did a little bit too much at Clemson, but you're going to see it mixed in with the Jaguars offense here in Jacksonville. Doug Peterson has shown a propensity to run that sort of stuff during his time in Philly. I think you're going to see that in Jacksonville, and it's going to pay off big time for the Jaguars as a whole, and especially for Trevor Lawrence, who is a good athlete, Travis Etienne, who is an explosive runner. You're going to see these guys eat a lot, in my opinion, in that style, in the quick game stuff, the RPOs, the read options, zone read, all that fun stuff. I think it's going to benefit Trevor and Travis, who know how to do it. They know how to do it on the same field together. They have a lot of experience together, and Doug Peterson knows how to scheme it up and dial it up. So I think you're looking at two very, very good possibilities for year two breakouts for Trevor Lawrence, for Travis Etienne. I'd argue Travis Etienne should be even higher on this list. He's more talented than a lot of the players here. I get that he didn't play in 2021. I don't think you can hold that against him. I think by season's end, Etienne will certainly be higher on the year two breakout list. But impressive stuff here from Mike Renner of Pro Football Focus over on ESPN.com. A lot of intriguing names. J.C. Horn, Rashad Bateman. I encourage everybody to go check it out. I'll drop a link to it in the description below. Really appreciate everyone for tuning in. That is going to do it. Hit me up on Twitter at Jordan DeLugo and follow Generation Jaguar at Generation Jag. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button on YouTube and check genjag.com for all latest Jaguars news, analysis, and Duval gear.